let's take a look now at energy and how you can work with your energy and the energy of your clients. Now, we get into a little bit of a metaphysical situation when we talk about energy, because let's face it, energy is something, at least when we're talking about the energy of our bodies in a metaphysical sense, that we're really not seeing. Some people can see auras and they see the energy of people, but usually it's just something we're aware of. We're aware of the energy of people. People have a certain energy, and so do we. Sometimes our energy is down, sometimes our energy is up. What we need to have happen in an office situation is for our energy to be up. But there's also something else interesting that I want to talk to you about, and that is the idea of lowering someone's shield. You know, when someone comes into your office and they have the, okay, let's see what you can do for me. Let's see, I'm paying you, let's see what you can do. Can you make a change in my life? Can you stop me from smoking? There'll be that attitude that you'll sense, that energy that you'll sense, and wouldn't it be nice if you could help them let go of that? Not so much so that you will feel they're not thinking those things, but so that they won't be working against themselves. So there won't be that resistance, because that resistance is actually going to stand between them and where they want to be. So with this technique, you can accomplish two things. Number one is raising your own energy, and number two is opening the person up to working with you, and when you're done, raising their energy. Okay, so let's take a look at how this is done. Now, this comes from the world of muscle testing, and if you've never been exposed to that, I invite you to look into it. I was exposed to it in California first, and a friend of mine had taken a muscle testing class, which lasted about a year, I think it was, and he was certified in it, and I thought, well, that's interesting, and he showed me these techniques, which I found fascinating. Now, what you're going to see is probably going to seem to you to be amazing, or maybe you're not going to believe your eyes or something like that. I invite you to test it with your friends. That's the way you're going to see the power of this. So first of all, before we do that, let me talk about energy. Before you see a client, I want you to practice doing what we call zipping yourself up, which means just going like this 3 times. You're going like this. You're raising your energy, okay? So you're just going like this, your hand is raising in front of you, and you're seeing that happen. Just do that 3 times, raising your energy. You're going to feel that your energy is up, but I can actually demonstrate that your energy is up, and that you're more alert, and you actually have more power. And the way I can demonstrate that is by showing you how to do this. Then you're going to have to do it yourself. What I want you to do with yourself is raise your energy by doing that 3 times. What I want you to do with your client is open them up by lowering their shields, if you will, by going down 3 times. Okay? So, with my stage assistant here, I want you to raise your hand here. All right, so we've got a stunt arm here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate for you. Now, you have to do this yourself in order to really believe it. But I'm going to demonstrate for you the process of relaxing someone and opening them up, okay? So zipping down versus zipping up. Okay, so what I've got here, and I'm using the fist as a show of power. We've got someone here who's got, so you're making a fist, you're putting your arm out very rigidly, good, and I'm attempting to push down. Give me a little more strength, good. Okay, so I've got someone who's got their fist out, very, very strong, very straight in front of them. And I'd like you now to imagine a fire hose. You imagine a fire hose, and imagine the fire hose just shooting water out of the hose, and your arm is that hose, so it's strong like steel now. So it's that strong. Okay, so we've got somebody who's that strong. This represents the resistance that somebody would come into the office with, the anxiety, the energy. It's really got their shields up, if you will. Now watch what I can do. Okay, we've got this. Okay, so I'm going 3 times. 1, 2, and 3, and down. Okay? So that was the strong arm that person had, which a moment ago, pushing, it wouldn't move. But after doing that 3 times, it went right down. Now I've got an open person. Now you're going to, I keep emphasizing this, you're going to have to test this yourself. This step's a little bit outside of NLP and just gives you something you can work with that's really fascinating in the office. And if you want to look into muscle testing, there's a whole world of muscle testing you can look into. But when you're done working with a client, you don't want to leave them in that state, because we're not trying to weaken someone, we're just trying to open them up so they're not resistant. At the end of the session, we're going to go ahead and zip them up, 3 times, we're going to zip them up to give them their full energy to go out into the world. So keep this technique in mind and use it. I invite you to look more into it.